What's up guys, it's TyranitarTube and welcome back to what might be the last video about Scarlet and Violet riddles and leaks completely. See, the last time we left off, I covered everything Riddler Khu tweeted. He has not tweeted new riddles since. Meanwhile, Kaka Man, remember I said he posted a tweet saying, "This is the end, sayonara." It's true, his Twitter account's gone, but he escaped to a cabin in the woods called Discord. So in this video, I'm going to cover the rest of what Kaka Man posted. It's just pure leaks. You're gonna really enjoy it and you're gonna love what you hear, but you're gonna hate that you now know. So we're gonna get into it. Like I said, Khu hasn't posted anything new either. In fact, he has. But this is quite literally the saddest day of 2020. The beach episode is over and it's not getting an anime adaptation. The drama is kind of irrelevant. I cut it out of this video, but the time has come to say that Riddler Khu is no longer posting riddles. He too is going to move to a cabin in the woods. Or perhaps he will live amongst us and we will just never know. This is the tweet that says it. You guys were very saddened by this and tagged me in it one last time, but we'll pay our respects to this at the end of this. For now, we gotta jump straight into Kaka Man. It's time for the endgame. Final arc of leak season. So the last things Kaka Man revealed was the 5 cross-gen evolutions in this game. We have Dunsparce, Girafarig, Bisharp, Murkrow, and Primeape. Dunsparce, apparently its evolution is a pure normal type, and Girafarig's evolution is a pure psychic type. It makes sense, you know, they're showing Dunsparce isn't imperfect in it being this basic typing. It's gonna use that typing against you. And Girafarig, I guess, the normal was the giraffe side of Girafarig, right? What happened? Why is the normal gone? The tail is completely taken over. We don't have information on the other ones. Aside from that Primeape's evolution, apparently the way you evolve it is interesting. I have no idea what that means. Maybe you have to go up high and jump off a cliff into the water and Primeape evolves. Oh, hello. It's future T-Tar. Just an update from the future. Remember when Khu says the gimmick is a mess because of the telephone game? When Kaka gives info on a 3rd legendary, then says there isn't one. Anytime I cover Kaka, I tell you he's gonna be wrong about things. There is no Murkrow evolution. The sucker's tweeting whatever he wants. Y'all like, write that down, write that down. We're crossing Murkrow off this list. And now with him gone, we can refer back to Khu's riddle, 12225. We are missing a 2 now. Who is the Gen 2 Pokemon that evolves? See, this is exciting again. Bro, I was so bored after last video when I knew all the evolutions. Now I'm gonna go through them. Just like Ladian, Ariados. Bro, it could be any of them. I'm gassed. But yeah, I'm in the future, so we'll talk about this a different time. Now in this video, we're gonna start off looking at the regional forms in this game. There seem to be only 2. And then we're gonna look at the Pokemon that are getting ancient forms in this game, future forms in the game, and I guess a couple other things. So we start off with Wooper. You know this, it has a poison type regional form in this game that is going to evolve into a different Pokemon. Based off Khu's riddles, while Quagsire is known as the Swamp King, this new evolution may be something more like the Land King. Then there's the Tauros regional form. Apparently it's black. There's some fan art for different Tauros concepts. I think the cool ones are when it's a fire type. Tauros sees so much red and is angry as a bull. I could totally buy it's a fire type somewhere else. Oh, you're killing me, Kaka Man. This man... Okay, it's future T-Tar again. So Kaka Man has made some updates in the world of Tauros. And this is... Kaka? This information kind of messes up with other information in the video. So I'm just gonna put it here and you figure out what Kaka's... Tauros apparently has a regional form in this game. The regional form we're talking about is not a fire type like I was speculating just now. It is a fighting type Pokemon. That should be the end of the mystery. There's a Tauros fighting type and then a Wooper poison type that's gonna evolve. But then Kaka comes out and says that Tauros has 2 more forms in the game. And you know, with his broken translation ass, it's just devolved into so many different... Who knows even what he's trying to say. He's saying there are 3 Tauros forms in this game. Some people say all 3 are like Oricorios and they're in different parts of Spain. And then other people say it's a future and ancient form. By the way, when I say people say, I'm talking about people who are translating his tweet. Later in this video, you'll hear something along the lines of Kaka saying that the past and future forms don't change typing. That's alleged. But then here, Kaka Man apparently says that the other 2 Tauroses are dual typed. Which means Kaka must... You better never come out of the cabin. If you want the takeaway from this, and you want my opinion, I think there are 3 Tauros forms. And it's because of Khu's riddle right here. This original riddle from back in April, we thought the 3 bulls meant Tauros is 3 tails. But based off this information, it's possible Khu was teasing to us that there are 3 Tauros forms in this game. Just don't worry about it for now. Tauros went from no regional forms to breaking the world Meowth record. These are also the 2 regional forms that Khu initially teased back in April, and lining it up with Kakaman's information, it looks like they're the only regional forms in this game, which is crazy. I mean, Sword and Shield got how many? Meowth, Ponyta, Slowpoke, Farfetch'd, Weezing, Mr. Mime, the 3 birds, Cursula, Zigzagoon, Darmaka, Yamask, Stunfisk. You're kidding me. Fine, we'll take these ones out because they're DLC. So of course this has led to the idea that maybe Kakaman is playing an early copy of the game. Maybe it's incomplete. Okay, I want to find an exciting way to tell this to you guys. So, ancient and future species. The way we think they work in this game is that in Pokemon Scarlet, there will be a few Pokemon who have somehow arrived from the ancient past that you can find in this game. Based off the way Khu describes it, they seem to huddle in bunches, kind of like Ultra Beasts, and it makes sense because you would assume if they did time travel, that they're all grouped together. You go into this mystical forest and there's just like 2-3 Jigglypuff dancing around. So yeah, there's a few species of ancient and future Pokemon. We're gonna start off with ancient forms. Jigglypuff and Amoonguss are the first 2 ones Kakaman talked about. This pixelated image here, which was redrawn to this, and this Amoonguss here. It would seem these Pokemon get extremely high stats like a legendary, and that they don't evolve, and that their names aren't even gonna be Jigglypuff and Amoonguss. According to some later Kakaman talk, they have names that are funny in a certain way and don't include the names of the known species in it. So this Jigglypuff is not gonna have Jiggly or Puff in its name. Or I mean, it might. In Japanese and Chinese, they probably don't have remnants of their known species, but they might mess it up when the names come to English. It would seem these Pokemon can be different typings, so maybe this Jigglypuff, if it is evil looking like this, maybe it's like a dark type or a ghost type. With Jigglypuff and Amoonguss, they look so much like their existing species. There might be like 2 tiers to these ancient and future forms. There might be ones that are similar looking, and then ones that have changed so much since their ancient species. So here's our chart. We got 2 ancient species, no future species. The first future species that Kakaman talks about is Future Delibird. Future Santa. Giffrey, you had the whole pick, and you... Bro, who in Game Freak's office stood up and suggested freaking Delibird? A future legendary like Delibird. It's happened. So Delibird's English, Japanese, and Chinese name are made up of messenger and bird, or delivery and bird. So Delibird is this Pokemon that has a tail that it puts mail into and it delivers it. But it seems to also deliver presents because it has a signature move called Present. It carries food all day long. There are tales about lost people who were saved by the food it had. It doesn't deliver mail, it delivers anything it wants. It nests at the edge of a cliff. It spends all day carrying food to its awaiting chicks. Delibird carries its food bundled up in its tail. There was once a famous explorer who managed to reach the peak of Mount Everest thanks to one of these Pokemon sharing its food. Yo, Delibird is a savior Pokemon. What? Although it naturally prefers colder locales, Delibird and Alola seem to withstand the heat to a certain extent. Yo, that's like potential for a form change. So Delibird is this generous Pokemon that goes around and collects food and puts it in its tail so it can deliver it to its kids. But along the way, if it meets hungry people or Pokemon, it shares its food. Wow, I can't believe I made fun of you all these years. So if I were to give this Delibird like 1,000 years to evolve, what would he look like in the future? I have literally no ideas. Remember my fear of future forms where it would feel like all of them would become part electric or steel? There's this rumor going around that might be true. I would hope not. I don't want to see a Delibird that's just metal. Maybe somehow you evolve to be able to grow food, like you become part grass. It's a stupid idea, but anything's better than everyone turning cyborg in the future. If everyone turns cyborg in the future, everyone playing Pokemon Violet's gonna be stuck with similar Pokemon, while people in Scarlet are gonna get these cool ancient Pokemon. My best guess, if we want to build on Delibird's kind-hearted nature, it either becomes the kind of Pokemon that can deliver stuff in a futuristic world, or he becomes so evil he becomes part poison, and now you never take food from a Delibird. So there's our chart. We have 2 ancients and now a future form revealed. Moving on, the next future species is Gallade. Apparently it looks like a mix of Gardevoir and Gallade and has hair similar to Curlia. Oh, and is an archer? That's kind of crazy. When Khu posted a picture of this is supposed to hint at an ice type. Are there 2 archers in this game? I'm pretty sure he was talking about a different Pokemon. But if he wasn't, maybe he was talking about Gallade. future Gallade. As of now, it seems it's just Gallade. It seems this is the way we have the game's balance so far. Jigglypuff's counterpart is Delibird, and Amoonguss's counterpart is Gallade. Gallade is this honorable swordsman Pokemon that fights using its elbows that are swords. So maybe in the future, they've evolved into a bow? It looks possible. Bro, does Gallade have one sword and then a small hand? What is that? So, I mean, it could build on it. So maybe the big hand becomes a bow and he just flings arrows at people. He can't really drink his drink with his right hand anymore. Maybe in the future, contact is overrated. So now we know 2 from each side. Now we go back to Khu. One of the craziest things that Khu tweeted is that there are 2 pseudo-legendaries in this game. One gets a past form and one gets a future form. So here are the 8 pseudo-legendaries beside us. So these 2 pseudo-legendaries would not be able to evolve, would not have pre-evolutions, I would assume. They would just be stronger versions of 2 of these Pokemon here from a different time period. I'll give you a couple seconds to think. Which of these Pokemon do you think get an ancient or a future form? Because the answer is out. Allegedly. Apparently, Salamence gets an ancient form. Bro, that is insane. To see a Salamence back in the carnivorous days, he's gonna look like a whole different dragon. I mean, what's a more primal typing than dragon flying? Would he even change typing? What if he's like a really weird typing like dragon normal? Now it is still a Salamence, which means it follows the story of the Bagon who jumps off a cliff and learns to fly. For the most part, the story could be different in Bagon's biology back then, but it's a Salamence looking Pokemon. So surely it would still fly, right? Who knows? Maybe in the ancient days, it was like a dark dragon type or poison dragon type. Maybe it used to bite enemies and they would corrode to the poison. And now they've evolved to be more laid back. But that is a pretty good Pokemon to get an ancient form of these. I think one cool idea is if Dragapult got the ancient form, because you could have shown how it was before it died. And counterparting Salamence, to even out this chart again, we don't actually know. But we linked this to something we saw in the second trailer. Some of you guys sent this to me too. In the second trailer, you see a trainer holding up this Pokeball in the snowy place, and he trades his Bagon for a Larvitar. And for that split moment on screen, it shows these 2 Pokemon. It's like they're counterparts, as if ancient Salamence's counterpart would be future Titar. Bro, I've been saying this from day 1. I said this before Kakaman was canon. That Titar is Godzilla and he should get... Mecha Godzilla should happen. Japan's all over it. I freaking predicted it. Do you know how lucky I am if this is true? I got a Mega Evolution. I got a future form. Future Titar under a completely different name. That will probably be like Mecha Godzilla. Just please do it right. Don't make this man look so whack and tasteless. Don't just make him steel. You know, I'll take a cyborg Titar. One eye is freaking metal. He looks like the Terminator. He comes from the future. What future has he seen? What did he witness? And who did he come back to save? Future Titar and past Salamence. That is a hard one to pick between. Game Freak, I'm begging you, please. Make this Titar look so good. Change his design of a film. Maybe he has to be on all 4s now. Titar is a Pokemon that is in the legends. I mean, in its Pokédex entry. Look at how they hype this man up. Its body can't be harmed by any sort of attack. Extremely strong. Tyranitar is so overwhelmingly powerful, it can bring down a whole mountain to make its nest. Oh, Tyranitar are only freaking 6 feet tall. Do you know how strong you have to be to take down mountains? We're trying to figure out how this future Pokemon could look, right? Tyranitar's design is kind of interesting. So a Tyranitar lays, I guess, the Larvitar egg deep in the ground. And when the Larvitar is born, it has to eat all the dirt to make it to the surface. It's so used to the darkness, it hates the sunlight. That's literally why you find it in Mount Silver. Even though it's weak Larvitars, they're just the babies that have made it to the surface. Pupitar is literally a semi-complete Tyranitar. And this shell Pupitar is in is apparently indestructible. A body as hard as bedrock. By venting pressurized gas, it can launch itself like a rocket? Could in the future Tyranitars just focus on that aspect of them? They become these flying Tyranitars, just on booster jets. We don't know how future forms work, but if it's possible that every future Pokemon has been enhanced by humans, maybe they'll enhance these aspects that are hinted in the Pokédex entries. For its typing, I'm gonna assume it's part steel. I've been looking around to see if Mecha Godzilla really goes in the water. He doesn't seem to, but now that I think of it, if we made him half Mecha, half futuristic Titar, What if he was like Dragon Steel? Which would be incredible, but it'd be horrible because he'd be Dorludon's cousin again. Yo, a Steel Dragon future T-Tar would be insane. That'd be fan service specifically to me, and I'll take it, Game Freak. So now we have 3 full Pokemon in both Ancient and Future. This is crazy. Imagine Kakamon never spoke, and we saw this in a trailer, revealing Banguzilla. Okay, to figure out the next past and future Pokemon, we go back to Khu's tweets. The other thing he tweeted about Ancient and Future species is that there are 2 Pokemon that get both an Ancient and a Future. So many of Khu's tweets are gone, but if I can recall them from memory, he said something along the lines of a Gen 5 Pokemon getting a future form, a Gen 5 bug Pokemon. And according to Kakaman, the identity of that is Volcarona. There's a future Volcarona in this game. Like, you're crazy, right? This man's gonna have like electric wings and zoom around. Volcarona is timeless. Probably existed in the ancient past, was used by this alder looking man, and now it's in the future. When we were messing around, I saw some fan arts for a future Volcarona, but again, like I said, until we know how future forms work, we can only imagine them all like cyborgized. Whoa. As it flies, it scatters its flaming scales. It was feared by ancient people who referred to it as the Rage of the Sun. Thought to be the embodiment of the sun, it appeared during a bitterly cold winter and saved Pokemon from freezing. According to the legends, it was hatched from a flaming cocoon to save people. It was hatched from a flaming cocoon? Was the cocoon meant to flame? So it's got like a Arceus-like myth to it. It's this Pokemon born from a mysterious egg that was on fire and it saved people. Now, there's no way to really imagine what a future form for this thing could look like. Look, it's literally called a sun Pokemon. But here's the plot twist. I'll just talk about how it was feared in the past. Volcarona apparently gets a past form too, which is the actual crazy juice, because its entire entry talks about its past, being born from an egg, being feared by ancient people, and called the Rage of the Sun. Nah, bro, this is the perfect opportunity to show what they were really scared of. And for all you know, this could secretly be the Pokemon the old alder guy used too. I really can't believe they gave it to Volcarona. Volcarona's stats are so high, it's not a legendary, but it pretty much should be considered one, which we should talk about. If the past and ancient Pokemon get extremely high stats, what happens to Tyranitar, Salamence, and Volcarona? Their stats are already really high. If you make them any higher, they'll be as strong as like Kyogre and Groudon. If we're to believe these Pokédex entries are talking about the ancient Volcarona, it hatched from a cocoon and it's referred to as the Rage of the Sun. It would seem like a bug fire type still. So maybe the Dex entries are just talking about Volcarona like 200-300 years ago, not the actual ancient one. I mean, Volcarona is a bug. I don't think you can take it away from it. I guess it could lose its fire typing, and it just wouldn't be the sun Pokemon in the past. Maybe it used to be an ancient bug normal type, and then somewhere along the lines, one of its kids were born from a flaming cocoon, and then that's the ancestor to these Volcaronas. So now, we have 4 Pokemon in each section, and we're coming to the end of it. The only last bit of information we have is the other line Khu mentioned that gets both a past and a future form, and apparently we don't know it. Based off Kakaman's information, apparently it's a Gen 2 Pokemon, which just feed me. Feed me T-Tar's homies. What could it be, like Houndoom? Ladian? Don't give Ladian a past and future form, just evolve him. He's so ass. Noctowl, I suppose, but whatever Pokemon we pick here gets both of them. So it has to have some spice to it. Xatu? Bro, ain't Xatu some fortune-telling Pokemon? In South America, it's said that its right eye sees the future and its left eye views the past. Yo, close this page. Wait, they say it stays still and quiet because it's seeing both the past and future at the same time. What are you, looking through the eye of future and past? Xatu? Xatu, you should be a freaking legendary. Maybe it is. Maybe it's Xatu. What do you mean in South America? Every single Pokédex entry talks about the past and future. That's crazy. I think it's Xatu. Ampharos? Sunflora? Maybe in the past Sunflora was a menacing Pokemon, and in the future it's this whole solar panel monster. Kingdra would be insane. Oh, it could be Smeargle. Smeargle really could use some flair. 2 legendary Smeargles? What do y'all think it could be? Oh, it could be Skarmory. And so the chart is evened once again, and allegedly there are only 1 ancient and 1 future species left after that. How is Jigglypuff the only unevolved one on this list? Well, it isn't. The rumor going around is that the last ancient Pokemon is Mischievous. which is so unexpected. See, Mischievous is a Gen 2 Pokemon as well, but it's an interesting Pokemon. It likes playing mischievous tricks such as screaming and wailing to startle people at night. This is actually really sick. See, if Mischievous gets a past form, it could get its alive form. See, Mismagius is clearly an evolution of this dead Pokemon. So if it had an ancient form, it would make sense it's not Mismagius, but the alive version of this. It loves to bite and yank people's hair from behind without warning, just to see their shocked reaction. I want to be reborn as a Mischievous. Oh god, it gets nourishment from the fear that it absorbs into its red orbs. In daytime, it sleeps in darkness. Bro, you're Mischievous cute, bro. It conceals itself in darkness, selling chills up travelers' spine with its childlike weeping. If you set your ear against the red orbs around its neck, you can hear shrieking. So it literally captures the fear as energy in the orbs. So this is a childlike Pokemon that doesn't mean harm when it's doing all this. It's doing it to get nourishment, but also having fun like a kid. It looks like a kid Pokemon that just died. Imagine Ancient Mischievous is this face, but on a full Pokemon, not a ghost. Like, instead of this ghostly body it has, it's this small, like, Curlia-sized actual Pokemon. That would be really cool. That's a really good one on the list. And now to talk about the very last slot left. Rumor going around is that from the future, Kakaman said that a Pokemon that can learn the move Arm Thrust gets the final future form. If you don't know it yet, it's from Gen 3. It's a sumo Pokemon. Starts with H. It's freaking Hariyama. I never seen Hariyama as a sumo Pokemon. To this day, all I see is a baseball player. And to this day, all I see is this as your mouth and this as your right eye. When I look carefully and see the way it's really supposed to look, it freaks me out. Hariyama's thick body may appear fat, but it's actually a hunk of solid muscle. Okay, Lechonk. It loves to match its power with big-bodied Pokemon. It can knock a truck flying with its arm thrusts. So what would this man become in the future? Is he gonna put his two baseball pads together and start praying? Imagine a meditating, pure psychic type Hariyama. You piss him off, he just opens his eyes and starts running to you. Damn, that is kind of badass. That's what you look like in Gen 7, eh? I still only see it my way. Although they enjoy comparing their strength, they are also kind. So this would be a Pokemon that would maybe live with humans after. It's gonna be a Pokemon that still has a passion to fight big Pokemon, but it's gonna do it in a different way. What if it adapted to the cold and is like an ice fighting type? Anyhow, I wanted to finish this with this video, so we went through all of them. That is all of the time warped Pokemon it seems in this game. We are missing 2, and notice that that's where your attention is focused. It's what you don't know that's what's exciting. Like, you didn't need to tell me about half of these, but that's all of them. And now moving on to RFs. So far we have the Diglett R fake, gonna be some kind of eel that lives in the water with Diglett's face. And then we know second one thanks to Khu, which is a Gen 1 R fake that crawls from the sea to the land. Our best idea is something like a Lapras that's on the land. I mean, it isn't a Lapras, it's a totally different Pokemon, but it's gonna have Lapras's appearance. I think that would be the best thing it could be. And that's every Pokemon. So what we can do now is go through a chart put together on the Bulba Garden forums by Joker901, where he took all the Pokemon talked about by Khu and Kaka and tried to form a bit of a Pokédex with it. So let's go through it. Of course, to start are the Sprigatito line, rumored to be Grass Dark. It's crazy how much information we know about this game, man. Fuecoco, who might become Fire Ghost, and Quaxley, who might become Water Fighting. Then there's the Palmy line, who eventually becomes Fighting. Obviously, there might be like some bug Pokemon in between, but that is crazy. Palmy might actually, they might actually from this generation make like a de facto starter, the Electric type. But it would get old quick because everyone would run into Palmy and put it on their team. Then we have Smoliv. It's rumored to evolve twice, and Kakaman wrote in Japanese, Oribe Tree or something like that. So Olive Tree is what Smoliv might become. Lechonk has an evolution, it seems. It might be what Khu teased here. Will look better if white. And then we have this image of this creature. Seems to be Lechonk's evolution. Then we have the Dolphin Pokemon. We know absolutely nothing about it. The Flying Fighting Flamingo, which should be this screenshot here. We got a random flower Pokemon. Where did this come from? Who talked about this? It's probably freaking Kaka. Like, only Kaka will just tell you there's a flower Pokemon. Like, why are you telling me there's an earthworm and flower Pokemon? I might as well just see it in the trailer. Then we got the 3 dog lines. Dog line 1, dog line 2, dog line 3. The Coinmon, a new Pokemon, the Ostrich Pokemon. This Ostrich Pokemon apparently has hair like Cleopatra from Egypt. We don't know what Cleopatra's hair looks like, but maybe they just mean something like this. Maybe it's a very traditional looking Ostrich Pokemon. Just please make it evolve, yeah? I'm not gonna catch it and put it on my team if it don't evolve. We got the Spider Pokemon teased in the first trailer, the Bike Pokemon. Could you imagine if this turned out to be the Common Rider like Pokemon? Like it's the bike instead of the actual guy. Then we have the Earthworm Pokemon Kaka talked about. I guess it's part ground. Then the Pokemon Khu talked about, a grass fire type that exists. Some of these Pokemon could have more evolutions. Just the extent we know is put here. The Samurai Pokemon, which I don't think is the same as the Japanese bug. These should probably be two different Pokemon. The Pink Lolly with the hammer, which apparently evolves twice, not just once. Icicles Pokemon. There's icicles. This reminds me of an old Diglett regional form fan art. You know, that's a pretty creative Pokemon. Let's see where icicles go. Then two salt Pokemon that Kakaman tweeted. Followed by Engine and Engine Evolution. What is an engine though? Bro, they don't even use cars in the Pokemon world. Where did y'all get your hands on an engine? Cars probably exist, but you might as well ride a Rapidash. There is a Beetle line with its evolution. Then one of the last things Kakaman tweeted in Japanese is a parakeet Pokemon. So we have Chatot, who's a parrot. Now we're gonna have the Australian exclusive indigenous species, the parakeet. I want to see lore that you like argue with Chatot. You have problems with them. Now we get into referencing the old Pokemon. The Primeape evolution, the Pure Psychic Girafarig evolution, Dunsparce, Bisharp, and then regional Wooper's evolution. Yeah, Wooper should be in the Dex too, but I guess they're putting exclusively Pokemon with new Pokédex numbers. Then we get to this point right here. Who made it sound like the similar looking Pokemon really add up in the Dex? There's a chance Pokemon uses this as an excuse to not make too many new Pokemon, so maybe that's why it's looked at as annoying. We got Ancient Jigglypuff, Amoonguss, Mischievous, Volcarona, the Unknown Gentoo, and Ancient Salamence. What a lineup. And then in the future, we got Volcarona, Delipurd, Gardevoir, or Gallade. What? Gen 5 bug Pokemon again? Future Gen 2 Pokemon. And then Hariyama. It's Kakaman information, bro. I'm telling you, talk to different people, they all tell you different things they've heard. Then we got the fake Diglett, which I guess someone talked about it evolving. I imagine when this Diglett evolves, it's more like this fan art where you can very clearly tell it's not a Diglett anymore. Then we have the other Gen 1 regional fake, 4 sub-legendaries in this game, Pridon and Miraidon, and maybe like a boss Pokemon that we'd fight at the end. And now we have a proper feeling for the Dex of this game. And now we're done. Now, remember Kakaman ran to his cabin in the woods? Apparently he's still tweeting bits of information from there. And I'll tell you some of the recent stuff he's saying. He said a couple crazy things that are gas. He said that alpha Pokemon are back in this game. The actual size different, bigger Pokemon, and that mass outbreaks are back. He even says raid battles are back. These are insane features to bring over from Legends. How are we gonna have raid battles without Dynamaxes? He also mentioned a new system involving picnics that people speculate maybe this is the Pokemon Ami thing. And apparently when you're in this picnic mode, Pokemon can breed. So there isn't a daycare spot, you just open up a picnic spot and somehow you might find an egg. Apparently he says you can wash your Pokemon. Some Pokemon don't like being washed. And he said that the ancient and future Pokemon have really weird names that follow their own naming pattern. So that stuff's cool, right? But then as I'm recording this, look at some of the stuff he said in like the last few minutes. He says that the two Pokemon that have both ancient and future forms have the exact same typing. So both Volcaronas will have the same typing, and whatever the Gen 2 Mon will be, same typing. Does that really make sense? And then later he says that every ancient and future Pokemon in the game does not get a different typing. Only their name and appearance changes. Which means every Pokemon we just talked about, future T-Tar allegedly, past Salamence, Volcaronas, Jigglypuff, how could they all be the same typing? We've literally heard Khu talking about one of the Gen 5 bug Pokemon that get a time warped form not being bug anymore. This is literally what Khu was saying with the broken telephone game. Because there's obviously something wrong with this new information. But my dudes, that is everything. We have now covered all of the Scarlet and Violet leaks and rumors and riddles. I'm certain right now Pokemon is extremely pissed and they're gonna go find Kakaman in the woods. They're gonna do him like Thanos. I'm certain the leaks will stop soon. At this point, he has no reason to do this. No one's paying him to leak the game. Imagine the guy in prison who, gets a new cellmate, and it's Kakaman. He gets to finally see Kakaman's face, but he has to live with it for a few years. I'm gonna call it quits here, guys. Go on to shank that like button. I hope you're excited about the stuff in this video. Answer me this: when I tell you these things, the things that intrigue you the most are the parts you don't know, right? The Gen 2 Pokemon that gets both the past and the future form, what the new R-Fake is, and how in response to Khu retiring, we have the saddest wake up, babe. Khu's gonna leave us without you here. You can rest now. I'm gonna tear up. You're free. Wake up, babe. Our boy lost. Don't. He needs to rest. This is the end of an era. I really thought after the Kakaman arc was the Khu redemption arc. I had no idea the story was over. Now, while Kakaman still continues to post his Pee-wee information, the big thing we're gonna look forward to now is the next trailer. Anyhow, shank that like button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bitch, I'm the man.